Let's get into Benson Boone, who, despite how y'all was feeling about him and his album, it looks like Mr. Benson, who body be bodying, by the way. He's got the number 2 album in America. Morgan Wallen's number 1, but there's no requirement for taste, I guess. So on June 30th, 2025, that's today, Benson Boone's sophomore album, American Heart, debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200. Now, after conquering the charts with Beautiful Things, the most streamed song of 2024, the song's parent LP, Fireworks and Rollerblades, peaked at number 6 with 58,000 units earned. He surpasses his previous mark with his sophomore full-length studio album, American Heart, earning 61,000 album units in his first week, according to Luminate. The 10-song pop album includes the top 30 charting Sorry I'm Here for Someone Else and Mystical Magical, with the latter enjoying a viral moment thanks to its memorable mention of a mysterious moonbeam ice cream and a collaboration with Crumble Cookie Company. Which, speaking of Crumble Cookies, that makes a whole lot of sense that all of a sudden, did y'all see the little stunt that he pulled where it was like he was by the TMZ there? I'll tell you, TMZ, y'all don't even try to make it subtle anymore. Like y'all, like everything y'all do when y'all meet up with these celebrities and ask them the questions, the tone of how you ask the question, it all feels like a setup. Like, can y'all stop with the fake pretending like y'all just happen to run into a celebrity? Because there was this video that was on social media of Benson pulling up to this TMZ bus. And he was like, "Oh, I got some cookies." And I was like, he started pulling like 3 boxes of cookies, handing them out in through the window from his vehicle. Because I guess he was on the American Heart promotional circuit. I was like, "Oh, come on now. Like, this wasn't set up." And then he was like, "Oh, y'all want me to come on the bus?" And he comes on the bus and they interview him and he's kikiing with everybody. I was like, okay. I mean, applause that you're doing what you gotta do to promote this album. But child, it felt fake as fuck. No shade. Just saying. Now, they said critics have responded with mixed reviews. That many praise Boone's vocal strength and theatrical delivery, calling the album polished and emotionally charged. Others, however, described the lyrics as generic and questioned the album's thematic depth, noting that while the production is slick, the storytelling feels surface level. Well, that goes without saying. Like, I would not be surprised that the music and everything is pretty good. And we all know that Benson could sing the house down boots. But the reality is, he's one of those surface level artists that was like, who are you as a musician? Who are you as an artist? Like, you can take from Bruce Springsteen and Freddie Mercury and Elton John. Like, you can take from besides, besides Bruce Springsteen, who's the only heterosexual that I mentioned, the others are homosexuals. So when you take it from, like I said, Freddie Mercury and Elton John and some of the other queer icon rock stars, and you incorporating that in David Bowie, and you're incorporating their overall aesthetic, the way you sing and the way they're posturing and all that other stuff. It's like, when you take away all the bells and whistles, who are you as an artist? And to me, that's why even though, don't get me wrong, Benson Boone is a cutie, I would not turn him away if there was ever a moment that he was to sit on my face. However, comma, if the music ain't giving me what I need, and if I can't feel who are you as an artist, I can't get into the music. Like, you being cute and having a nice body and the ass be on point when you in them onesies, that's not enough to get me on board with your music. Which is why I do find it interesting that we're gonna find out next week, like, how well will this album continue to stay on the charts, because we have Lizzo's mixtape coming out, which I mentioned earlier in the show. I love the mixtape, and I'm not a real big Lizzo fan. Like, I like some of her songs that she's released, but as a whole, I've always felt that Lizzo came across like she was a little too pretentious for my liking. But when I listened to this not EP, the mixtape, while I was working out at the gym, I love the record. I was like, bitch, I had to stop at one point because I was on the treadmill, because one of the songs had me gagging with her spitting bars and the production. I was like, oh, I gotta pause this because I'm about to fall off this damn treadmill. Me being so into the song. But she got me in that. But she got me on that record, and and Lord, she released her new record, which I'm absolutely loving right now. So we'll have to. It's going to only be a time to find out like how well it'll do in by next week. But also, I don't know if y'all knew this, but this album was co-written in 17 days between Boone and his collaborator Jack LaFrance. Now, to me, 17 days, less than a month. This is like a Tyler Perry movie. Like, this is what this is giving. It's like, when you're not taking the time to actually work on the music, like, don't get me wrong, if the inspiration is there, because you can't rush perfection, although there's no such thing as being perfect. But if you're an artist and the inspiration is there, like, yeah, let's get it going. Like, it's there. I need to lock all this down before it leaves me. So when you're creating, and I'm a creator and I'm an artist, I totally get that. But when you got this deadline of you have to make this record in less than a month, to me it's like, okay, so I'm laying down the vocals and everything, but it's like the lyrics is we'll get by on it. Nobody's really going to pay attention. Although there are people that really get into lyrics and wanting to really deep go. There's people like, I love a musical deep dive. Depending if you're a good enough artist, I will go down a rabbit hole with you to kind of understand, like, what was the inspiration behind you making this song and all the creative aspects. Like, I'm pretty much a music nerd when it comes to that. But like I said, if you're not going to give me what I need in regards to that, and then you're rushing your record, it's like, oh, we have to capitalize on beautiful things because this is the one song everybody wants to hear, and we have to capitalize on the moment. So we need to get in the studio and lock the situation down and put out a record in 17 days. That kind of makes me feel a little weird. But apparently enough people liked it where it did well enough, and it's coming in number 2. Now, the person that went to number 1, Morgan Wallen, whose I'm the Problem, moved 177,000 units. It also continues as the top streaming album of the week with 220 million streams. So all the bigots and racists out here living for Morgan Wallen's tight ass music. Now, also in the top 10 of the latest Billboard 200, an album that I think that everybody should be listening to and is absolutely, like, I'm loving it right now. Karol G's record, which is her third top 10 charting album. Tropico Quieta, I think is how you say the name of the album. Don't kill me on my Espanol. But she came in third with 57,000 equivalent album units earned. She previously led the list at number 1 with Mañana Será Bonito in 2023, making the historic stride as the first all Spanish language record by a female artist hit number 1. So it's like, yeah, she's up there on the same level as, like, she's basically Bad Bunny with tits. So, I mean, I hate putting in that category, but I got to give it to you straight with no chaser. It's like, there's Bad Bunny, who's like one of the biggest selling Latin Spanish language artists out right now, and then if you look at the female side, it's Karol G. And of course you got Shakira, but she's been doing this for like 4 decades. And like, Shakira making music since she was 14, so she don't count. But we talking about somebody who's coming up in the trenches and relatively still new to the game. Now, the Colombian singer told Variety other genres spanning Tropical Quieta. She said, not everyone will enjoy this album the same. There's a lot going on, and these sounds and styles mean different things to different people. But I couldn't be proud of how it came together, because I think she's kind of taking the same approach that Bad Bunny took with his recent album, which is like, it's the deep roots of Puerto Rico and a lot of those sounds. She's doing the same thing where she's like, it's not only the sounds of Colombia, but so many different genres that she's mixing in that. So I think they're pretty much on the same page of paying homage to the roots of Latin music. Now, elsewhere on the top 200, the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack enters at number 8 as the highest debuting soundtrack of the year with 31,000 equivalent album units earned. The supernatural action comedy was helmed by Sony Pictures Animation, the studio responsible for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and The Mitchells versus the Machines. And also, I'm hearing BTS is dropping a live album, which is quite interesting because I don't be thinking Quiet As It's Kept any of these K-pop groups be singing live. But if they releasing a live album, that's what they say they're going to be doing. So, yeah, there's that. So I definitely want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story? Have you listened to the Benson Boone album? What did you think of the Benson Boone album? Do you think that, yeah, people are right? Is that it's all style and no substance? Pretty much is what I'm cutting to the chase. Is that great vocals, the production is slick and on point, but as far as like the lyrics for the album, it's about as deep as a pond. So I definitely want to hear from y'all. Let me know what your thoughts on this story in the comments down below.